Hey, hello, I'm JulieJo. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. If you're not new here, welcome back. I want to shout out to y'all who send me emails of things you want me to cover and talk about because this was actually sent to me. I've never heard of this person before, but they are at the top of Plexus. When I read her stuff and watched her videos, I was like, no one's talked about her. No one's featured her, and maybe someone has, I just haven't seen it. But oh my gosh, top leader in Plexus. Let me tell you, Plexus, like I said, I did a video recently. Sorry, I have hair because I'm wearing lip gloss. I get fancy for you sometimes. Plexus is a lot worse than I thought. If you asked me 6 months ago, Plexus wouldn't even be on my top 10 worst MLMs list, but it's top 5 now. And it's because of people like this. So grab a drink and a snack and buckle up because it's about to get wild. Let's get started.
I don't care about you and him. I don't care about what has been. I only care about your soft skin. Cause we're still sleeping in my head. I don't care about you and him. I don't care about what has been. I only care about your soft skin. Cause we're still sleeping in my head.
This is Brooke Hemingway. I've never heard of her before, but apparently she's at the top of Plexus. We're gonna read something that I was sent originally that made me look into her and other things that she's done and said, and kind of her intertwining with Plexus. And we're gonna watch a shorter video on one of her trainings, and y'all, it's premium content. This is what she said. It's designed to keep you sick, sad face. The objective is not to get you better. The system is not designed for you to be healthy, because healing is not a profitable business, but keeping you sick is. Just today, we received news that our dear friend Lisa, a woman who's loved our babies for years on Kauai and lives in the cottage right next to our house, has experienced miraculous results for her Parkinson's. By the way, this person lives in Hawaii. And it didn't happen here in the US. It happened all the way across the pond in Switzerland, because pharmacology is more profitable here than an actual solution. And as I woke up this morning, the thought came to me. The system isn't designed to heal you. It's designed to enslave you to profitable measures. So the only choice you have is to strengthen your terrain and become informed of other options. So what is your terrain? It's your gut. Just for the record, I did not do a 2-year intensive to work in the medical field to enslave you into the hospital and keep you sick. Fun fact. My goal is actually to find the issues that are going on in your body. I literally use sound waves to find hundreds, thousands of things in your body so that we can figure out what's going on and then help you get better. It's very straightforward. And if you have been helped by the medical field and doctors and whatever, and you found medication that's worked for you, I want to hear it. The only reason I'm here today, and I'm going to be very honest, trigger warning, unaliving. The only reason I'm here today is because my psychiatrist and my psychologist got together, made the perfect plan for me to help me and my mental health, and I am on medication that is greatly improving my quality of life. Do I think that some of the things and a lot of the things that Big Pharma does is for money? Yeah, I do. However, I don't think they're there to keep you sick, and I think that has to do with some kind of weird conspiracy theory, and I think she might be falling into that. On a recent call with our holistic MD for Lily and potential treatment, ironically also outside of the US, for her type 1 diabetes, she talked about boosting the terrain. The reality is that we all have disease genes. We all have predispositions. We all have the genetic traits that can be passed down. I have a question for those who who are in the medical field, who are doctors or nurses or whatever. I've heard that doctors in the medical field and nurses, but mainly doctors for sure, do not see holistic doctors as doctors. Let me know what you think below. Is that true? Let me know below. But they don't have to turn on. She said we all have disease genes. We all have predispositions. We all have genetic traits that can be passed down, but they don't have to turn on. What? You think Down syndrome is just a genetic trait that, flipped it on? What? You don't flip it off. You don't have the ability to flip a genetic trait on and off. That just happens. What? You know what? I'm just going to move on and keep reading. Sometimes it's just a perfect storm. A virus hits, the gut terrain isn't super healthy, and a genetic tendency exists, and bam, all of a sudden you have something you've never had before. What this says to me is that it's more important than ever to focus on the terrain. Your gut is the gateway to health. It's non-joke. I think she meant it's not a joke. It's a reality. There are ticking time bombs inside of you. You can either cover your eyes and plug your ears and say la 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 and use the method of hoping nothing bad happens, or you can proactively seek ways to strengthen the terrain. Y'all, this is gonna fire me up. This is about to fire me up. I think I'm gonna have to give out an award. The choice is up to you, because the modern Western medicine world in the US and Canada are not designed to heal you. They are designed to enslave you to a profitable industry. Even well-meaning people, providers, can become cogs in a wheel and zombies to a system. And the Shut Your Mouth award goes to Brooke Hemingway, because you need to shut your mouth. That is ridiculous. Now, I understand that some people believe this, and I understand that, like, to an extent, it's absolutely about profit, but it's not just about profit. This conspiracy theory of Western medicine is literally made so that you can be enslaved to sickness is, like, wild to me as someone who's a part of Western medicine in some very small way, but nonetheless. She says, take charge, take action, take measures to strengthen your terrain. Here's how. She lists some ways how. Sleep more, yes, it matters. Stop eating garbage, it's essential. Take supplements, lots of them. Wait. Brooke, you're going to allow and actually encourage people to take a lot of supplements that aren't regulated by the FDA and not medication that is? Make it make sense, my girl. Ridiculous. Reduce stress, it creates bad bacteria. Okay. Stop drinking, alcohol breeds yeast. Exercise, it boosts the good. Exercise, it boosts the good. It boosts the good. Okay, thanks, Brooke, for that clarity. Reduce toxins, you're overloaded. Huh? What? I swear I can't handle this. She ends with 3 simple changes. Brooke, I get it. You were probably super emotional typing this. My girl, I probably fixed 10 typo mistakes. And now I'm not going to be too nitpicky, but it's just too much. I need you to type this when you're chilled out, because it seems like you're very upset. 3 simple changes you can start today to make massive impact are move your body daily, eat real food instead of food-like substances, and take gut health boosting supplements. These are the 3 simple changes I made years ago, and I am reaping the benefits big time. I'm so passionate about this, and I want to see you strengthen our terrain. Okay? If you're ready, reach out and let's be part of the self-solution instead of leaning on a system that is broken. Yeah, because Plexus is the solution, Brooke. So that was the first post that I saw of Brooke, and I was like,
what did I just read?
Well, it doesn't get better from there, because I saw a video. She has an entire YouTube channel for her team. I watched it and was just, like, utterly shocked by the medical claims, the income claim, the use of faith manipulation. It's just gross. So let's watch one together. It's a shorter one, and I know you're going to have a lot to say. Feel free to comment below. So this is to a team, and I'm only going to show the 2 top leaders that are on this call, which is Brooke and I think someone else named Phyllis. I will speed it up, but just a little bit. Not like as fast as I did last time.
Oh, we can't hear you, Brooke. Oh, you're on mute, Brooke. You are muted, sis.
Grab a pen, grab a paper, and let's rock and roll. We're going to talk about how to connect with people and message people more authentically and how to close people. Now, it is the end of the month, and it is so important that we are connecting with people and that we're effectively closing people. I've been coaching people from all levels, silver up to diamond, that still don't know how to close. And so it's not really a level thing. It's really a confidence thing. And it's really learning how to just ask that question. I'm going to kick this off by just letting you know and being honest with you that oftentimes our results are a numbers thing. A lot of times we're not talking to enough people and we think, gosh, my business just isn't growing. What's happening? Why am I not signing up people? But we've only really talked to maybe 10 people in the entire month. And what I want people to understand, and Phyllis can verify this, is when we started our businesses, we were talking to everybody. We were sharing with everybody, and we were filled with joy and excitement about what we were doing. And that energy with which we shared was contagious and not off-putting to most people.
Not Phyllis, that's not who I'm talking about. Brooke started her business, I think, around 7 years ago. So at the beginning of Plexus, like really early on. So there was everyone to talk to, right? We know that when people start earlier in the companies, they grow and get to the top a lot easier than people do nowadays in Plexus. And what's interesting is people say it's not a numbers game. Lots of top leaders say that, but apparently to Brooke, the people that they talk to are just numbers.
Okay. Some people, no matter what you do, it's going to be off-putting to them. And they're just like, they're that kind of people. But I have to share with you this quote. It comes from Proverbs 19:19. Okay.
Babe, that's not a quote. That's a Bible verse, but to each their own.
You know, those ornery people that have a lot of feelings about what you're doing, or maybe they're rude to you. Anybody encountered any of those people yet? If you haven't, I would just say you're not talking to enough people. Because until and unless you encounter some ornery people, you are playing it safe, girlfriend. Okay, so Proverbs 19:19. This was...
First off, ornery means bad-tempered and combative. And the example is, some hogs are just mean and ornery. I just want to be straight up. Just because you disagree with someone doesn't mean you are bad-tempered or combative. You might make them feel uncomfortable because they're so used to people agreeing with them, but you don't have to. Just because you disagree with someone doesn't make you a bad person.
This was paraphrased by Dr. Henry Cloud, right? That guy that wrote 20 books and is a clinical psychologist. Proverbs 19:19 says, you don't rescue other people from their own feelings. Okay. You don't make them feel better. You don't pander to them. You don't apologize for their anger, their nastiness, whatever it is they're doing, their own feelings. Okay. You don't rescue other people from their own feelings that they're supposed to have control over. I'm going to repeat that. You don't rescue other people from their own feelings that they're supposed to have control over. Emotional intelligence and maturity means that people have control over their feelings, and they're going to be polite even if they don't want something. They're going to be kind even if they don't agree. It's not your job to rescue them and manage their feelings or their response. It's your job to ask and to move on. So even the Bible says it's not our job to control people's feelings and responses. That's their job, to manage their emotions. My job is to bring health and happiness to people.
So let's read about Proverbs 19:19, because she didn't read it. She just read someone's interpretation. So Proverbs 19:19 says, a hot-tempered person must pay the penalty. Rescue them and you will have to do it again. So among the worst consequences of an uncontrolled temper is a tendency to make the same mistake again and again. Being hot-tempered means lacking in self-control. For those of you who are new here, because I do have a few thousand new people to my channel, hey, welcome. I have a master's degree in theology and ministry. I feel like I should say that. I haven't said it in a while. And that's why I do this. That's why I read these. Whatever. Being hot-tempered means lacking in self-control, so a person is liable to make the same foolish choices when put under pressure. Proverbs warns repeatedly about the ways in which one's temper can be dangerous. The danger extends to others as well. Scripture suggests it's better to avoid those who can't control their emotions. I find it so interesting because I experience hot-tempered, angry, and insulting people every single day on social media that are multi-level marketing leaders, downlines, buyers of product, whatever it is. They get so defensive and angry at me because I disagree and I show things that make them uncomfortable because it shows that what they're saying is wrong. It's interesting how she's spinning the idea that we are the hot-tempered, angry, bitter people. They like to say that. That's something that when if you've been around the anti-MLM genre space or whatever, and you've seen different interactions, you know that they like to push that. But in reality, I've only ever experienced it from MLMers. Don't get me wrong, I actually have experienced it from some anti-MLM people, mostly just a couple. But that's not because they're anti-MLM, it's because that's just who they are. So Brooke's trying to use this quote, she calls it, this verse from the Bible, because I'm sure a lot of these people are Christian, and it's easy to manipulate Christians by using faith and scripture as it is for most religions, especially for people like Brooke. It's easy for her to do that. So what's funny is I actually think this comment, when you look at it in reality, kind of puts a mirror up to their face and be like, but you, right? It's you that are like this. At least that's been my experience. I also have experienced when I was in MLM some really, 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 really mean people who were really, really mean to me when I asked them to look at the business. And can I just say, don't do that? Even as someone who is staunchly, obviously anti-MLM, don't be mean. That is not going to get them out. And I can guarantee you, if you're mean to them when they're in, they're not going to befriend you when they're out. I had since I've grown on social media, I've had people who were exceptionally mean to me when I was in an MLM, reach out and be like, I'm so proud of you. And I'm just like, thank you, but no. You weren't just like apprehensive. You were mean to me. You insulted me. I don't want any of that. Don't do that. It's just not worth it. And you're better than that. Okay? Leave it to them.
And the reality is that most of you are not asking enough people. And that's why you're not seeing the numbers, or you're banking on 1 or 2 people that said they were going to sign up instead of continuing to ask and continuing to invite and building up this whole stockpile of 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 people that you've asked, and all these different people that are in your pool, so that at the end of the day, 3 or 6 people works out at the end of the month because you've messaged so many people. So I'm going to pass this over to Phyllis. And Phyllis is going to give us some best practices and give us some confidence in what we can say to people when we message them.
Thanks, Brooke. Okay, so I actually was on the phone with my personal coach for Plexus this morning, and he gave me this exercise. So I want to share this first. But so before you even reach out to people, everything is energy. How many times have you guys heard that? Everything is energy. 1,000,000 times. Both hands go up, toes too. Okay, so if our energy is the first thing that meets someone, do you think that's important? Like the way we show up? So if we're going to reach out to somebody, do you think it's really important that it's the best foot forward, even if our day isn't the best day ever? So how can we do that? How can we change that? So I want you guys all like to think in your mind, because if we could do this, like if we were in a room together, I would pair you up right now with somebody that you don't know. So pretend you're in a room with just complete strangers, and I'm going to have you go over to somebody, introduce yourself, and you are going to pretend, which is probably not, like, it's probably realistic at this point. You're going to pretend that you're super nervous to talk to them, and that you are just, so you go up and just pretend, like, think in your mind, even close your eyes. Like, what does that look like? Going over to a person and just being like, oh, you know, being very nervous. Okay. Now think in your mind that you're going to approach the same person, this random stranger, but everybody in the room is doing it. So it's okay, right? The fear factor has gone down because everyone's doing it. So now you're going to approach them as if it's a best friend you haven't seen in months. What does that look like? So I just want you to picture that. Like, can you feel the energy? Can you feel that inside? I've seen my best friend. I haven't seen you in so long. Oh my gosh, it's so good to see you. Like, I love following you on Facebook. I feel like we, you know, have been seeing each other, but it's so good to see you in person. Okay. Lastly, your soulmate. In 2 years, you have not seen your soulmate, and you're seeing them for the first time. And again, these are complete strangers, but you're going to pretend that you're seeing them for the first time. What does that look like? That's like a running, jump into their arms, hugging them, swinging them around. Just imagine that energy. So what if in your mind, before you approach somebody, instead of like, I'm so nervous, my palms are sweating, I got sweat tacos, like, don't do that. Let's envision, you guys can open your eyes now, but let's envision that it's a best friend or a soulmate. And how would that energy show up? So, you know, and then think of questions that can pump yourself up. Like, why are they excited to hear about this opportunity? Why are they excited to try these products that have made such a difference for me? Dang it. Like, I don't have hot flashes anymore. This is big. This is huge. Every woman on this planet needs to know about that there's an answer. So like, think about the things, like, what is it that made you really excited in the beginning? Because some of us have been around a while and we kind of forget what got us excited in the first place. So maybe go back and journal something like, oh, this is how I felt in the beginning.
Did she say my hot flashes are gone or something? Did she say hot flashes? Because, babe, that's a medical claim. If you're acting like this is going to take away your hot flashes, maybe they just went away. Pretty simple. But she said pretend to like be nervous, pretend to be their BFF, pretend to be a soulmate. So she's talking about energy. What kind of energy do you want to bring? I think energy is important. I think the energy you bring to certain things is going to kind of give you the outcome. You can call me weird, whatever. I just believe that. She's telling them to give fake energy, fake BFF, fake soulmate, like to fake the energy. You know, that's why people don't like when people in MLMs reach out to them, because they can tell it's fake. If you're going to act like you haven't talked to someone in a long time who's like your BFF, especially the whole like my friend from high school is in an MLM and wants me to get it type of thing, and you're going to treat them like your BFF you haven't seen in a while, air quotes, we know that's fake and it's a big turnoff. Like, nah, bro, get away from me, you know? No thanks. So I think that's actually really bad advice. I don't know. I mean, it could essentially help you not be nervous, right? It can kind of take those nerves away. But like ultimately in this situation, it's a fake energy and you're faking your emotions and your feelings towards that person.
And have those things ready to go before you make that phone call, before you text message that person, before you post that thing on social media. get yourself in the best state. And whether that's, like Tony Robbins does this, like jumping up and down, where you're standing and you're literally pumping your fist and he makes you breathe. And so it's just like filling your body with oxygen and energy, and it just lifts your spirit and it puts you in what he calls state. And state is a positive thing. It's not state down here, shoulders hunched over, I'm such a loser. No, you're bringing yourself up and you're pumping it here. Corinne is saying, I started to work out or move before I do messages. Okay, this is a great time. This should be interactive. What else are you guys doing? What else? Does anybody have any tips or tricks to what they do before, they send that message, or where you call that person or you leave a voice message? Brooke does her scary work after her workouts. Yeah. She sounds happiest and most energized. I felt the other day, guys, my body was literally shaking. I had a really hard day because I'm working on big, scary things right now. And all I knew was I was like, I got to get out the door. I got to go for my run. I finished my run and I came back and I was like, whew, mental clarity. So, or if the energy's down, play a song that you love and do it. Yes. Yes. Music is like stored in a whole nother center of our brain. That can lift a spirit in no time at all. I love my Christian music. I have a Christian music station. And if I'm not in the car listening to that station, I have my Spotify. I've got like songs already played, in there, but I also can go grab just like, the top 20 list or whatever. Envision the best possibility. Imagine the best scenario. Yes. So I had a person the other day. So I'm here to also give you guys is like, how do I authentically reach out to people?
Imagining the best scenario and like trying to do this when you're in the best mood possible, trying not to think too hard about it. To me, you can disagree, obviously. That's a thought stopping kind of thing. That's like, don't think about it too much, just do it. Put on something that makes you feel good, just do it. Just do it. Now, let's be real. Sometimes thought stopping is good. It is. Like, let's say you're about to sing in church or something, and I'm not a churchgoer, but let's say you're about to sing in church and you just need to stop all these thoughts running through, so you like read something or do something that's gonna like put you in a certain mood. That's not harmful, at least in my opinion. What is harmful though is something that actually makes you stop thinking about a consequence or about certain things, like, should I be reaching out to this person? Should I be sensitive to certain things that I'm talking about to them? Brooke's gonna say something soon that I'm gonna be very pissed off about. I watched this on double speed. I know I'm wild for doing that, but I do it on most of my videos unless I say otherwise that I haven't watched it. And honestly, like, we know that it's a lot of toxic positivity in these situations, and they want you to be toxically positive. They don't want you to think one negative thought. They don't want you to try to put yourself down when doing these reach outs. If you think, ew, this feels bad, this feels weird, I don't like it, they're like, listen, that's toxic, that's negative, you're not going to be successful that way. Get that out of your mind. But in reality, I think it's a red flag. I think your brain's like, hey, whoa, yo, I don't want to do this. It's weird and I don't like it. It doesn't feel good or right. But they are taught to ignore those red flags, which is just so unhealthy, because then you start ignoring red flags in many parts of your life and not just this MLM side.
Well, first of all, I never do anything anymore with desperate energy, because desperate energy is going to be barfing Plexus on them, just saying crazy things that I'm not keeping it short. Like, pause, stop, like zoom out for just a second and really think about what you want to say to that person. Jenny Orton, if you guys are familiar with her, she always would tell me, what does your heart say? And she would like tap her heart. What does your heart say? Like, what do you really want to communicate to that person? That's the message you need to craft. I could, Brooke can send you a bunch of, sample messages. I can send you some sample messages, but it's not going to come from your heart, and your friend wants to hear from you. Okay. The best thing to lead with is, friend, I saw what you posted. It sounds like that must be hard for you. I think I might have something for you to take a look at that could help. What are your thoughts? Like, did I say anything about alpha lipoic acid or chromium? Or no, I didn't. It's not going to sell them. They don't care about the ingredients. They want to know what's it going to do for them. So that's number one, is listen to your person. Like, watch for those people on Facebook. They show up every single day, 50 times a day. Somebody's struggling with something. And when I put up in the chat there, unapologetically reach out to them. Like, I'm not going to apologize to reach out to a friend who looks like they're struggling. Do you know how many times I've had people say, thank you for reaching out to me. I would have never reached out to you because that's just not what I do, but I'm so glad you reached out to me. and they signed up, or my wife made me get started on these products. I thought they weren't going to work, but because you supported me so well and helped answer my questions, I've lost 50 pounds and I'm off all my medications. 7 months later, I'm a believer and now has gone gold, because why would you not share these results, right? So if you're a person here and you have a great story, I know you're here because you want to share, so that's a good sign. But just take little nuggets of your story and post about that. Like, I walked past that cookie today, #small wins. I don't need sugar anymore. Like, what the heck? I didn't think that was possible. Here's my pink drink. Take a selfie. People want to see you. They don't want to see a commercial. So posting, showing up, I feel like that's your little sign is hanging. It says, I'm open for business and I have something really great here. Keep watching me. So keep showing up, because if you stop, they'll be like, oh, see, she stopped. She's not doing that anymore, or he's not doing that anymore.
First off, what she said just there, like, don't stop, because they'll automatically, like, essentially your business is going to be ruined. If you stop, you're done for. That's not necessarily true, but that's just another way to, like, push a pin in to keep them in. She also said something that was very intriguing to me, and it was the fact that she kind of pushed the idea of reaching out to people who are struggling. Peakrecovery.com, it's a recovery center. They have this one section that talks about seeking the trusting. This is their signs of manipulation thing. One of them says seeking the trusting. Manipulators often seek out people who are insecure, sensitive, or trusting. They know these people are more vulnerable to manipulation and less likely to put a stop to it. By being kind and thoughtful, but slowly becoming more manipulative, they can begin to exploit the person who is likely already attached to them and wants to avoid making waves. And in my opinion, this is a lot of what happens in MLMs. So they start by seeking out someone who's struggling, right? Insecure, sensitive, and just very trusting people, very kind people. They have a certain kind of person that they want. A lot of them do, even though they reach out to everybody. They do it intentionally because they know these people are more vulnerable and will more likely say yes if they can ensure that their pain points are going to be met. And so, by being kind and thoughtful to them, that person's going to become more trusting, but that person, that top leader, will likely become more manipulative. They'll be easier to mess with, make do things, make them stop thinking a certain way. It's easier to use thought-stopping techniques on people who you are already manipulating and who trust you. And you can begin to exploit that person. To me, in MLMs, top leaders are exploiting vulnerable people. And again, I say this every time I talk about vulnerable people. It does not mean weakness. Colleen thinks it means weakness. But being vulnerable does not mean you're weak. And these people are likely attached to you because you're showing them interest in a time of defeat, in a time of anxiety, depression, whatever it is. You're showing interest in them. You're acting as though you care about them. And I genuinely believe that that is one of the biggest manipulation tactics in MLMs. And I believe that is kind of what Phyllis is getting at here. Even if she doesn't actively believe that, I see it from an outside perspective. And I think that that's their goal, reach out to struggling people, because it's easier for them to fall for something like this.
Just keep it consistent. Just like we tell you, keep your supplements consistent, keep your posting consistent, keep reaching out to people consistently. Don't give up on them either. Just be like, hey friend, I know we talked 3 months ago about these products. How's that? How are those migraines? You said you have those migraines. And I remember you always saying how you were down for 3 days with them. Have you found something that's helping? Then just leave it there. Wait for an answer. Not because I have something and it's got it's BioCleanse and it has magnesium and it'll take away your headaches. No, just talk to your friends. Ask them how they're doing. Show up for them. How can I best support you? And then, and then it's a dance. It's back and forth, and maybe you're trying to win that card and you're like, oh my gosh, I need to get 3 people. Just, maybe you need to stop with that. And you need to say, you know what, that card's coming. The people will find me because I'm showing up. And because I'm reaching out, and I made a list and I have 50 people that I've been reaching out to this entire month. I'll guarantee you, if you've been reaching out to 50 people in a month, which is less than 3 people a day, right? It's 1.5 people a day you've messaged. At the end of that month, you're going to have 3 people that have signed up. I'll guarantee you. I would be willing to bet money on that. And so make your list. If you haven't made a list, you better do that ASAP. So I'm going to leave it there, Brooke. I'm going to hand it over to you because she's going to give you some more reach out ideas.
I loved that. So I think you actually gave them really great training on that. Do you guys feel good about authentically reaching out to people and connecting with people? Does that feel like a pretty solid start? Because for me, it's never really been about a cookie cutter way, but I will give you one reach out idea that you can use to help your new people that are willing to reach out and get other people to sample the product with them. Kind of like what I was talking about on the team call. And it's very, very simple. It's something like, I'll type it up as I'm saying it. Hey, Sally, I've been looking into something to help me with my sleep and this extra COVID weight. I'm tired of feeling like crap. So my health coach is getting me started on a new routine. I'd love to do it with someone else and thought of you. Want to try this out with me? Right? So something really simple like that. Obviously, I made it.
Did you hear what she just said? Please don't reach out to people and include how you think they would benefit from this, and also include the fact that it helps you lose weight, because your implication is pretty shitty. Okay? Just to be like straight up. Have any of you experienced that? Like, I've had, not that I've had an MLMer reach out to me, but it was like someone who was, first off, I have a dietitian who's also like a trainer who like does workouts and stuff for me. So I already have someone, but someone who I think was like a trainer on Instagram started like talking to me, just reaching out to me, asking me questions about like my workouts and stuff, or like if I'm enjoying whatever. And I knew it was because that they thought I was overweight. Like, I know that I'm overweight. It's not something that I'm like insecure about, but it's something that I'm working on. And by the way, I don't think being overweight based on society standards is bad or wrong, but someone reaching out to me because they think I'm overweight and they want to help me is just not okay. I know that someone goes, but they want to help you. But did I ask for their help? No. To imply to this person that she's messaging that they gained COVID weight, even though she's not saying you gained COVID weight, she's saying to lose the COVID weight and kind of implying that she also gained it, but you're also implying that they did too. It's like, no, shut your mouth. Do I have to go round two? Do you want to get another award? It's the same award. Like, don't do that to people. It's just really shitty. Sorry for the profanity of shitty, but for the profanity, I try not to cuss in my videos. Not because I don't cuss literally all day, every day, but because I know sometimes y'all like to watch it with your children around and stuff and yada, yada, yada. Okay, let's keep going.
Specific, like maybe this person isn't sleeping and they've gained weight. Or maybe this person just says, hey sis, they text their sister. Hey sis, I've been feeling like crap. I can't stop eating the Oreos. I got headaches every morning. I'm done with this and I'm going to get serious about getting healthy. I'm going to try this stuff. My friend recommended to me. Do you want to do it with me? And so you can craft that message and send that to your new person. That's the time that I do recommend crafting a message, is when you're trying to help somebody else to share. But for you, like Phyllis said, it mostly comes from the heart. Okay. So now let's shift to closing. What closing means to me is we finally converted this person from thinking about it to actually doing it. How many of you guys have people that are on the line and they just have not pulled the trigger and you're like, oh my Lord.
Okay, I'm sorry to pause, but like what Ivy just emailed me, and I know what the new flavor is. I'm not going to tell you though. It comes out March 15th, but I can't believe like I think they told me the new flavor. That's so exciting. Anyway.
Lord, please help me. How much time is this going to take? Like, how hard is it to decide to spend $115? They probably just spent that at Nordstrom's the other day or at Target on the clearance aisle. Like, what is even happening here? Right. And so you kind of have to laugh about it. But one of the reasons why you're not closing people is you are not being direct enough. Sometimes it's taking.
Did she just say, all they have to do is spend $115? They probably spent it at Nordstrom the other day. They probably spent it at the clearance aisle at Target. Brooke, I know you live in Hawaii and you have a lot of money because your husband is a doctor, but like, no. Your privilege is seeping through your eye holes. It's gross. Sit down. You need a reality check. $115 is a lot to a lot of people. Maybe not to you, but to a lot of people it is. And you obviously don't get it. What the heck?
Way too much time. And you're spreading it out. A lot of times what I find with people is they aren't actually asking the closing question. They do this at the end of sip and shares. They do this at the end of Zooms. They do this at the end of conversations where it's just like, thanks for coming. Or I'm so excited for you to try. I know you're going to love it. And in my mind, I'm literally, when I'm sitting there, I'm just like a caged animal. Because I'm like, yeah, and are you going to invite them to do it right now? That's what we have to do. So if we've had a positive conversation, And we've been like, oh yeah, you'll love the triplex and ease. Like it's going to be amazing for getting your blood sugars and your cravings balanced, your gut health. You're going to get rid of that bloat. You're going to be going to the bathroom regularly. You're not going to feel so puffy in the morning when you wake up. I can't wait to see what this is going to do for you. My magic formula is the next thing I do is I tell them how they're going to take it, because a lot of people think, oh my gosh, this is like a lot. This is really complicated. Like, I don't know. I say it's super simple. You're just going to pour this drink mix in a bottle of water, shake it up, and take a capsule in the morning, or a couple capsules in the morning. And then at bedtime, you're going to take a couple capsules. Does that sound like a simple system you could keep up with? And they're like, yes, that sounds like I could do it. Awesome. I'm so excited to see what this is going to do for you. Next step, second step. Do you want me to build a cart for you and send it to you so you can just check out? I can add a 10% discount to that cart. You can just click on it and check out. Or if you prefer, it might be simpler if you want me to just enter in that information for you. I could give you a quick call. Which one is a better way to get you started? There's no like awkward, like, what do we do now? It's like, they've just said they're interested. They've just said it's a simple system. They want to start.
Don't give other people your card information to fill it out for you. That's weird. That's weird. There are very, very few people in this world, like 4, that I would do that for. And it's not someone in MLM, I'll tell you that straight up.
On, and now it's like, awesome, I'm super excited. Let's get you started. What's better for you? Do you want me to build a card out for you and just send that off? Or do you want me to call you and get your information so that we can get that placed for you today? Okay. Yes, you can say, are you ready to grab this bundle now? Or you can say, what are your thoughts on getting started today? I have a 10% off code and you're going to get a free product with it as well. How does that sound to you? And you're just like, you have to ask a question and you have to move it forward. And you have to be direct. And for some of you, this is like, does this make anybody nervous where you're like, oh my gosh, like I could never like just go straight into like, how do you want to do this? Right. But are you seeing conversions in the people that are showing interest? Or do you have 5 million people that are like, they seemed like they were interested? People need direction. You have to be directional with them. If you lead a horse to water and then you don't invite the horse to drink the water, the horse is going to die. Okay. So don't lead the horse to water and not finish the job. You finish the job by having this high level of affect, like Phyllis described. How would you greet your lover? How would you greet your best friend that you haven't seen in 5 years? It's like, I am so pumped for you to experience what it feels like to not feel like crap every day.
It's so wild that they're like, fake your energy. Act like they're your soulmate you haven't seen in 2 years. Act like they're your BFF you haven't seen in so long. Bro, no thanks. I'm good. What? Like, that to me, for me, that's just weird. I don't know. Maybe you think it's not. Let me know your thoughts on it. Maybe we disagree, but whatever.
I just can't wait for you to text me on day 7 and be like, what is in this unicorn juice? Do you want me to help you grab this pack today? That's the question. Like any simple question like that. Do you want me to help you grab this pack today? I can save you 10% and get you a free product. Want me to help you grab this pack today? I loved Phyllis's. Want me to help you grab this bundle now? It should only take about 5 minutes. Okay. And so it's not that you need to have some like magical recipe. I think overcoming the objection of this is going to be difficult and complicated right off the bat by showing them this is how easy it is to take it and it tastes amazing. Okay. That's done. Check. And then, you know, you've probably gone over the price already by now because you've recommended to them their pack. Okay. So check. And now it's like, all right, now what do? We have to go for the ask. Now I want to tell you that every pack I've signed up this month is a bigger pack. And every pack I've helped a level 2 sign up with is a bigger pack. Oh my gosh, how do we do this? I don't have magical fairy dust. I go in with a lot of excitement and confidence. The very best thing for you to do based on my experience is going to be to grab this weight loss advanced pack. It is packed with so much goodness. You're going to get 2 bags of shakes that'll last you for 30 days, 2 bags of active that'll last you for 30 days, a bag of slim, all the gut health system products, and MetaBurn, which is going to help you to burn that fluffy fat and boost your mood. You get, how many products is that, you guys? 7 products? You get 7 products for $192. It's on sale right now at 10% off. In addition, you're going to get a free bag of collagen, which is essential for your health. Here's how you would take those products. That's how I go into it. Here's how you would take those products. Shake up a drink in the morning, take a few capsules, and then at night, take a few more capsules. Somewhere during the day, you're going to replace a meal with a shake. It's that simple. Does that sound like a system you could stick with? Yeah, I could totally do that. Okay. And then I move into the regular closing. Now, if for some reason they are really hesitating on the money part, you can say, yeah, you know, 182 is about $6 a day. And so if you break it down per day and you think about that and you are replacing a meal once a day, That might seem to make a little bit more sense to you. If they're still struggling, you can say, you know what? We have a lot of smaller packs that are great options to start with. Here's one that's only going to be about $110 plus tax and shipping will come to about $135 or $4 a day. Does that feel more comfortable to start with? And, pretty much they're going to say yes. But when they see the difference between 192 and 7 products and 135 or 115 and 3 products, they're most often going to self-select for the bigger one. Okay. The other thing that we see happen a lot is if you are always sliding in and not giving them the better option that gives them more product that lasts longer, and they're just barely sliding in at the lowest price point, their next month's order is going to be much more expensive. This is a retention problem. Okay. Because you sell them in at $110 and then the next month it's higher. If you're starting them on a bigger welcome pack where they have some products left over and they're getting a huge value, and the next month their order is less, you are more likely to have their retention. It is statistically proven in the data from the company. Okay. Yes, reset welcome.
You just use statistics and data? Wild. Anyone else ever heard of Han use statistics and data? Nope, not me. Maybe like once, maybe, but I don't even remember what it was. Also, can I see that source, Brooke? Send over that source, please, and thank you.
Reset welcome packs is 90% of what Phyllis sells. It's not that high for me, but I do sell reset welcome packs as well. But the big welcome packs, like almost 100% of the time, that's what I sell. I don't even give a cheaper option unless I'm asked. Okay. So I just wanted to give you that confidence in closing.
So they're not fully informed. That checks out for MLMs. They likely aren't fully informed about the income disclosure statement either when they're trying to join the business, because the Plexus disclosure statement is bad.
And help you to understand that so much of it is the affect and the way you deliver it and the way you confidently ask that question. Even if you're not confident, you can, act like you're confident. You can put on those confident pants and you can ask that question and you can get people converted. For the people that you've tried and you've done those things, the way that I would follow up in closing as we close out this call is before the month is over tonight or tomorrow morning, you just reach out one more time and you say, hey sis, or hey Sarah, or whoever, listen, if timing isn't right, and you've got a lot more questions, I hope you'll let me know. I always want you to be really comfortable with the decision that you're making, but I also want you to know that fear creeps up when you're getting ready to do something really good and you're getting ready to do something new. So if fear is creeping up for you, I just want to give you a little boost of confidence.
Is it fear or is it apprehension? Because the logic isn't logicking. The stuff isn't making sense. The math isn't mathing. And what they're saying just seems fake. Because at least their energy is. It's okay to say no to things. Even if it is fear. You know what? It's fine to say no. But let's not mistake apprehension or red flags for fear. Red flags aren't fear, but they can seem like it.
This is going to be something that's so good for you. I'd really love to get your order placed today so that I can get you those savings and that free product, because I know you're going to be so happy with it. If it would help, I could call and grab your information and place it for you. If you have more questions, I hope you'll let me know, right? And so you're just like, you're addressing the fear, you're giving them courage by saying when fear shows up, that means you're on the precipice of something really great for you. How can I make this easy for you? Right? So that's what we wanted to teach you tonight. We're so happy that you could be here with us and that you're engaging and growing your business, because recruiting is a bedrock of going gold and developing gold. So
Cool. Thanks, Brooke. I want to look at the Plexus income disclosure statement. So they changed up their income disclosure statement, which is not surprising. Listen to this. It says, how much can you earn? They don't have like ranks or anything. It says the top 1% of brand ambassadors made an average of $37,500 a year. 50% of the top 1% made more than $14,800 a year. So does that imply that 50% made less than $14,800 a year, the top 1%? Or am I just like losing it? The next says the top 10% of brand ambassadors made an average of $5,000 annually. 50% of the top 10% made more than $960 annually. What? In 2020, an average of 14.4% of all brand ambassadors enrolled at least one active brand ambassador and earned income. Less than 75% enrolled one ambassador and made income. So over 75% didn't make income, is what it's saying. That's what I think it's saying. And the average earnings of all brand ambassadors of 100% of brand ambassadors who earned money is $544, including the top 1%. For the entire year. For the entire year. I'm sorry, that's just absolutely ridiculous. That is ridiculous. It's a terrible business opportunity. And honestly, like, if you're gonna join this and the average of all of the income is $544 a year, you are likely not gonna profit. I wouldn't know what the median is. I bet it's like 300 or less. And I can guarantee you buy more in products than what you're actually making back. And this is without taking into consideration what they're purchasing for products and what they're putting away for taxes. It's telling me that the average earnings of all brand ambassadors isn't even enough for taxes. I think that's pretty bad. Let me know your thoughts on that. So overall, Plexus, bad idea. Brooke, shut your mouth. I can't deal with all this. That's absolutely ridiculous. And top leaders in MLMs just keep on going, don't they? Thanks for being here. Leave a comment on this video if you want to show some love, like and subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. If you want to get notified when I post, subscribing is good, but like an actual notification, you need to hit the bell after you subscribe. So either way, thank you. Don't forget, new Liquid IV coming out, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Show you what I'm all about. Make up for what we lost. Tonight is the night that we're gonna fall in love. I don't care about you and him. I don't care about what has been. I only care about yours.